on. And not to we ain't even gotta add mom and grandma and granddad to this, but we can because they the ones who help our psychological issues by teaching what you what we're talking about,
What was passed
passing that
down?
on
Yes.
to us. So we're learning all of that from them. But on top of the equality ever existing, if it let's just say I thought about this, let's just say equality was to just happen as of right now. Like
Okay.
everything is equal. Men and women get paid the same, get treated the same. Women are no longer incubators in currency, just time. Women are none of that. And shoot. Obaasan gone, her phone died. Yes. But if that was to happen today, right now, we're so psychological jacked up and the random Shondas out there in the world, the random shoot, my phone about to die. But the random the randomness of what Coach Terri says superior the superior mentality that's locked away in our psyche now. So we even take the small, I think, as far as equality, we even take that into our own homes, like taking out the
We have
trash.
gender roles.
Exactly, taking out the trash. Women can't do that.
Yes.
The woman in the house can't do that. No
Yeah.
matter how capable you are, and even if you were to take it out, we're so psychological damaged or can't really see the equality in something that well, hey, no, you don't need to be doing this, baby. I got this. I mean, I'm not saying any of that is wrong because I don't even know if any of that is wrong or not. I just know that I just see
That's what we
people.
were taught.
Exactly, that's what we were taught. But I just see people, and I do see that one person is what we call a woman. We've been drilled with this damaging mentality. I just had a conversation about matter of fact that episode is out now called Who Braced the Cycle. It's not called that, but we talked about who braced the cycle.
Mm.
And
Oh, I bet that was good.
yeah, and when she asked that question, I thought like I think that's kind of a placebo because I don't really think about who braced the cycle. I think more so who carries the mantle of the cycle because no matter what I do to break the cycle, you are you. That person is that person. That person, even and I'm talking about our kids right now. Like I try to instill this in my kid. That kid's still gonna grow up to be that person or a person of their own. So it's up to my kid to carry the mantle of what I'm instilling or trying to instill versus breaking the actual cycle. And as far as breaking the cycle, I also think that it comes with thinking. I feel like the younger we can get them to think about stuff, the younger we can get them. That not saying we can, like Coach Terri said earlier, sweep away the Saturday mornings. Not, no, I ain't talking about that. But at the same time, think a little bit. You just think a little bit, and I think if that can trickle on down, if that trickles on down, I think that can start, I guess, unleashing the cycle, not necessarily breaking it, but I guess that's what the
Mm-hmm.
term means. But because I thought about and we intentionally instill entitlement in our kids unintentionally. Now, we not just. I don't think we necessarily try to make them think or feel like they're entitled, but we do that intentionally anyway, unintentionally. And I think a side effect to doing that is that they don't think.
Mm.
The side effect to entitlement is you
They
don't
don't
think.
think. You expect.
Exactly. So that being said, I think a lot of this can be just done with just thinking, having a conversation, thinking about what's just been said in the conversation. Hey, passing that on to somebody. Stop getting mad at people you don't know. You know, this person don't know you. No, I don't think they're intentionally trying to make you mad, but unless they're an actual a-hole, but we already assumed that. So there's no need to get mad. Go on with your life and break that cycle of that potential or possible retard.
Well, I think it's twofold, right? And I think that you bring up a really good point, Donnie, is that personally I've just felt in a lot of the interactions that I've had with folks just in the last 5 years, in real life, online, those kinds of things, is it feels to me like people don't question things as much. Like
Mm-mm.
when I was a kid, the way that I was brought up and what was instilled in me was like question why. Like my parents never were like when I said why, were like, please stop, just please stop.
You were ready
We
to
did
get
do
hit in the
that,
mouth.
right? Like that didn't happen. If I spoke when I wasn't supposed to, or if I spoke when the
Okay.
adults were talking, that's different,
Right.
right? But they let me be inquisitive, and they let my younger sister be inquisitive. Always ask why. Have somebody
Mm-hmm.
explain to you their motivation, what it means. Like I didn't know at 5 and 6 that that's what they meant, but that's what they meant, is ask why. Have somebody explain to you why they're doing the thing they're doing, why they want you to do the thing that they're asking you to do, what the value in it, like where's it
Mm-hmm.
coming from, and we don't champion that, I don't feel like, anymore in
Mm-hmm.
education, even in the entertainment that we're putting out and that people are consuming, right? And especially in social media, it's almost like we dampen that questionality because we want people to conform to the societal stuff, right? Because that is
Mm-hmm.
easy, because then I can get you to consume the stuff I want you to do. I can get you to go after the things that I want you to go after, right? Like I was having this conversation with my husband. Like when I was a kid, like the thing that was drilled into me is that success is defined as owning a home with 3 bedrooms, having 2 cars that you own, having a happy relationship, and having kids. And that was the North Star I was supposed to hit, because that was supposed to be happiness, because that was the thing that my grandfather didn't have, my great grandfather didn't have, because of all the shit that wasn't afforded to them as being Black people in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older, right? Like, so we had to get it. So here are the things that you need to be successful in this system. To get it, go get it. And I trudged towards that shit. Okay. Like when I was in high school, I was going to go to law school. I was going to be a lawyer because lawyers made money. They're respected. Like the whole, I did mock trial, like all that stuff. And when I got out of high school, I was like, you know what? I don't actually care about this. I don't want to be a lawyer, because to be the kind of lawyer to be successful, I would have to be the kind of lawyer that hosed people like my dad out of their pensions and like that for companies. And that's not how I wanted to put my head on the pillow at night. And that really threw me for a while. And I had to question, okay, well then why am I thinking about doing these things? Why am I going after that? And it
Mm-hmm.
took me a long time to go, that's actually not what I want. I don't want to be a mom. Oh, shocker, surprise. Haha. Don't want it. Like, not shitting on it for anybody else, but that
Right.
wasn't my path. I didn't go to
Wait,
bed at night.
pause right quick. Pause. You say you don't want to be a mom. You do know that you were born a woman,
Bruh, yeah.
right?
And you know what? I turned 45 a couple weeks ago. I got 0 kids, 1 dog, 1 man, and I'm a happy, happy woman, right? Because that's my path. But it took me a long time to square that, and to square that with my family. I still to this day, and I've been married 25 years now, I still to this day have people in my family who are like, you still have time for kids.
When you gonna have your kids?
You still got time, And I'm just like, not my bag. But it's because it's been instilled in
Mm-hmm.
so many ways throughout society, is that that's my
Mm-hmm.
value as a woman. I'm someone's
Yeah.
wife, I'm someone's mother, I'm someone's
Somebody's
home
mother.
caretaker. Like that shit, that's not my life. My husband is a kept man. I work, he does the housework. He doesn't work,
Yeah.
he's retired. He worked, he did his shit. He supported me
Yep.
the way that I needed to. He pushed me to go back to school when I didn't want to. And I got the damn degree and I got the damn job, right? but it was my path, and it was I sit well outside of my familial norms, which that's a whole thing we haven't talked about. But like, you
Right.
want to talk about Black family norms beyond just surviving, but the trauma and all of the things that we put into that, right? But outside of that, you have then the societal norms that sit on top of you. Then you have your regional cultural norms that sit on top of you because, you know, what it is to be a Black woman or to be a woman of color in America, the experience is very, very different in the Middle East, in Asia. Like,
Absolutely.
if you want to play, you know, the competition, like we could do it. I could speak to the Black woman's perspective, but I can tell you there are absolutely Asian women, Iranian women, Turkish women that would
That's
love to
got
be
it
on this
worse than-
conversation to tell you how
Absolutely.
shit is bullshit over there
Bullshit.
too.
Or how they got it even worse than the Black woman.
You know what I mean? Like, I would love for the conversation, and I think that it's getting there, and I think that that's where, at least for me, it feels like there's a little bit of, yes, breaking the cycle, but also, to your point, Donnie, building new cycles, right? That are healthy, that are good, and instilling that, because I think that that bumps up against breaking them as well, right? Like, I will definitely tell you, for me, like, I know and remember all of the shit that like my mom went through in her corporate career because she had to do the thing. She had to straighten her hair. My mom was light skinned, okay? Light skinned. And a whole lot of people did not recognize her as a Black woman. And so for some folks in my family, she was passing, which she wasn't, but in her workplace, she was passing, and that did allow her to get to middle management. You know, because so many people, she worked in John Hancock Insurance, and so many people that she worked with, and this is in Boston, which, let's talk about racist, but because she was light-skinned and she was smart, she was able to get to middle management. People in her office thought that she was Italian or Greek, till my little Black ass would show up, and they'd be like, oh, ho, ho, who's this, your niece? And she'd be like, no, my daughter. Like, my mom took a lot of pride in being a Black woman. And so when that was taken from her, I saw how it pained her. Both as a young girl and then as I grew older. And I was like, oh, this is a thing to be treasured. So I'm not going to let anybody dim that from me. But that's what my mother gave me because of her experience. Okay. Because my mom was born in the 50s. So, like, shit was still real. And so my experience, and I think my lens is very different from a lot of people like around my age or a little bit younger, because I got to straddle that thing because my mom was late in life. So I grew up with a whole lot of colorism, racism, and my parents really did the best they could to, one, prepare me for working and living in America of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, but at the same time also made sure that like I had a foundation that was grounded in, you need to be you, you need to understand you, and you need to not let anybody else define you. And I don't think a lot of people get that. And so they fall into the conformity norms because they're popular, they're understood, and frankly, it feels safer as part of the herd as opposed to the lone standout.
Exactly. The way I look at the term keeping it real, how we use it, how we in our head
use it.
use it, but don't really use it that way. I don't think people are really okay. Is Obaasan you here?
She's here. She's back.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that a lot of people are really ready for the full effect of actually keeping it real. I don't think a lot of them ain't really ready. What I mean by keeping it real and going off what you said, like Rochelle just said, like you're being raised to be somebody's girlfriend or wife. You that's from pretty much practically from birth. you've been raised to be somebody's